Alright, so in this video we're checking out this Micro 143 scale RC drift car, and yes, it's called a drift car, but in reality it's not a real drift car. For those of you that are actually into drift racing, those are much larger and much more sophisticated, although this one does have a gyro in it, unlike some of the other micro drift cars I reviewed in the past. And this is also a die-cast alloy or metal instead of plastic, and does have some functional parts like the doors and lights. Pretty basic. You have your USB-C port there for charging, on-off switch there. It has proportional steering, forward and reverse, left and right turns, so all your basic functions as on most other normal RC cars. The rest of the stuff you get in the box, you get your controller, get a small manual, you get 4 of these cones, and you get some stickers, which I did not put on the car. Actually, I kind of like it just plain, but you can put those on there if you want. And you get a screwdriver, a USB-A to USB-C cable for charging the car, and you get some alternate tires. And these are these sort of slick drift tires, so it will slide around on the floor, but you can take that little screw off and swap out for the gold rims if you want. On the remote, you're going to put in 3 AA batteries in the bottom here. Those are not included. Got your proportional steering and throttle here. And then for your controls, you have your gyro adjustment here for stronger or less. Steering trim, lights button. This one here is your mode. So there's 3 different modes for 3 different throttle levels, which can help you in terms of controlling the car. And then you got your on-off switch here. So just go ahead and I'll turn this on. And we'll turn this on. Got your lights here. You got to put it down for the gyro to calibrate, and then it'll connect. Then you'll have control, and you can hear the gyro going here. So let me bring the car to the microphone. So that's what it sounds like, and you can see it adjusting according to what movements are happening. And you can also adjust that here on this dial, so you can turn it all the way down. You can see it doesn't do anything. And you can turn it all the way up. And it's quite sensitive. You can see it's very, very sensitive. So it really kind of depends on what you want to do. I have played with that in terms of adjusting it up and down, in terms of trying to get it to drift. I'll talk about the driving experience a little bit later, but I'm not sure I had too much luck in terms of actually getting it to drift like a drift car, although it just slides around pretty well. So just sort of demo it on the table here, just really quick on how it slides around. You do need a larger space to actually, do anything with it. I did try this downstairs on like a hardwood floor. Don't really have a really super large area to play around with something like this. So for something of this size, you probably want something a little bit in terms of more space to maneuver around. Yeah, so as you can see overall in this footage I'm showing here, even in a large, my largest space I have in my house, you do need quite a bit of space to be able to do a lot of maneuvers, because it does slide around quite a bit. It does have a fair amount of mass and speed, so it can cover a lot of distance. But if you want to do like a lot of short, sort of tight maneuvers, this doesn't really have the ability to do that. So you're going to need a larger space to be able to actually do anything interesting with it. As you can see, I'm just kind of running into the cones. I don't really have a whole lot of control. And I know that some guys are able to do some simulated, like pseudo drifting with these types of, wannabe drift cars, but I'm not really sure how to do that. So if any of you guys are privy as to what the secret is as to how to get these to do those sort of drift moves that kind of look like it's drifting, but it's obviously not the same as a real drift car, let me know the secret down in the comments, because I have tried a number of different things by reversing the steering, or going basically you turn in one direction, but then you turn this if you will go to the right and then shift the steering wheel to the left, That doesn't, obviously that's what they say you should do when you're trying to drift a car, but this doesn't seem to do that. A lot of these micro cars don't seem to do that because they don't have a lot of mass, but this one, because it's die cast metal, is pretty heavy, so it should be able to, simulate the momentum or the inertia of something a little bit heavier, but didn't have too much success with that. I think maybe it's just because I don't have a large enough space for something that's just moving pretty quickly, and I think you need a fair amount of space to get this to work in smaller. It won't work in a smaller space like the one I have. But anyway, that was an interesting little car. I think you can just kind of drive it around if you want on, say, a carpet. It'll work fine, although anything deep is probably not going to work because the wheels are there's no grip on these tires. And the alternate tires are also slick, so if you're thinking you can just use this as a regular RC car, you probably need to get some alternate wheels with some actual rubber tires, which aren't included in the kit, so something to be aware of. But I think that you could use it as a regular RC car with some swapped out wheels, which shouldn't be too difficult to find. I'm sure you can probably find this at a hobby shop or even 3D print them, for example. But anyway, I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to check it out. It's a kind of fun car. I think you're going to need a larger space for this if you want to fully enjoy it. But that'll do it for this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.